As India get ready to go to Australia, start another big campaign, the mind slowly goes back to previous memories of India games in Australia, and I've picked a few. Only white ball. I'll go even further back, only limited overs cricket, because not all limited overs cricket was white ball. There's two predominant memories of India playing limited overs cricket in Australia. One was, of course, the 1985 World Championship of Cricket. I thought India put together one of its best teams ever assembled, but I wasn't there, so I can't tell you too much more about it. I saw it on television in a wonderful time in my life, and of course, winning in 2007-8 in the CB series. So that's part of my memory. So I'm going to start with one memory from every tour. And I'd love you, as you hear it, to go back, look at the scorecards, maybe search for some footage, and that'll make it even more fun. 1991, India are in Perth. It's the 6th of December. We're still about 2 months away from a young man playing one of the greatest innings I have ever seen. Tendulkar at Perth in a test match starting the 1st of February. But he had to play a part here as well. India playing a tri-nation, India, West Indies, Australia, West Indies, sort of side that has just begun its decline, but still a lot of very good players in the side, and India only make 126. But India playing 4 fast bowlers. Kapil Dev, Manoj Prabhakar, Sourav Banerjee, Javagal, Srinath, and very soon the West Indies are rocked. It was a low-scoring game, but it was a game of great attrition, and it also produced one of the finest deliveries I've ever seen by an Indian bowler. When Keith Atherton comes in to face Srinath, and the first ball starts about leg stump, Atherton plays the line, and it just snakes away to hit the top of off stump. One of the greatest deliveries you will ever see. But after 40 overs, the West Indies are 121, but India finished. Azharuddin bowled out his 4 fast bowlers. Then this big debate. Tendulkar comes in to bowl the 41st, and the last ball of that over, Cummins gets an edge, Azharuddin dives and picks it up. It's a tie. What a game it was. And then, of course, 2 days later, Ravi Shastri comes, picks up 5, and India beat Australia. So go back with happy memories in Perth. That was 91. Then I went back in 1999. Not happy times for India. Lost the test series. Tendulkar was already getting to be a under pressure, reluctant captain, and India only won that one game on that tour. But what a game it was. If you're an ardent follower of Star Sports through the last decade, you've probably seen that about 15,000 times. But Ganguly hit 141 of just 144 balls against an outstanding Pakistan side. This was a side that had got to the final of the 1999 World Cup just a few months before. In my view, was the best team of the 1999 World Cup. Wasim Akram, Shoaib Akhtar, Abdul Razak, who could bowl a quick ball too. Azhar Mahmood, there's always spin to call on. Moeen Khan, excellent top 5. And that innings of 140 by Sourav Ganguly, some of his driving, even of the mighty Wasim Akram through the offside, was just gorgeous. So 99, that is my one memory. Then the happier memories start. 2003-04 was an absolutely fabulous tour. And there's a tri-series again. This time there's Zimbabwe, a good Zimbabwe side. Remember, they're playing some of their best cricket, Zimbabwe, around that time. And VVS Lakshman is in the Indian one-day side. He's not happy. Even the genial, mild-mannered VVS Lakshman is very, very angry at having been left out of the 2003 World Cup. And he reels off 3 centuries in 4 innings. My memory, though, is of Brisbane. India beat Australia. Hadn't beaten Australia in a game for about 12 years, I think, in Australia. But when the 49th over ends, Tendulkar, Lakshman rather, you think of Australia, you think Tendulkar. Lakshman is in his 90s. Rohan Gavaskar is playing, Sunil Gavaskar is in the commentary box. Have you ever been a father seeing your son perform? He goes out, we're doing commentary, and there is Gavaskar downstairs, we are in commentary. And I asked him afterwards, what were you thinking about? And he said, all I was telling myself in my mind was, Rohan, don't allow VVS to get stuck at the non-striker's end. Rohan sneaks a single in, Lakshman, it's a boundary of the last ball, gets 100, wonderful memories. And should Lakshman have played more then in white ball cricket? Who knows? Then 2007-08, it's India, Sri Lanka, Australia in the tri-series. India make the final. Win the first game, then you go to Brisbane. Tendulkar hits 100 in that first game. His only century in a one-day international in Australia. And then in the second game, there's no way anyone thinks he can play. His back is hurting, he's unfit. Dhoni apparently goes up to him and says, "Aap rest le lo, you play the third final if it comes to it." And Tendulkar says, no, I'm playing come what may. Scores a 91, has this big partnership with Rohit Sharma. That is what I remember. I've often talked about the handing over of the baton between Tendulkar and Virat Kohli on his retirement. Here is a young Rohit Sharma batting at number 5 in the side, having a 100-run partnership with the champion. And what happens a few years later? Rohit Sharma goes to the top of the order and starts batting, dare I say, almost Tendulkarian in the next 5 or 6 overs. But for India to win that series in Australia, never won a series before, to be there was just to experience a great sense of exhilaration. 2007-8, Praveen Kumar picking up all those wickets. It was a fabulous series. Okay, then let's go across to the sighting of another genius. And we're talking 2011-12, again tri-series. Now we have bonus points, by the way. So whatever the opposition scores, you score those in 40 overs, you get a bonus point. India desperately need the bonus point. They're in Hobart, but Sri Lanka make 320. Sangakkara 105, Dilshan, it's 160, 320 in 40 overs. There's a short boundary, but still 320 in 40 overs. And Virat Kohli hits 133 not out in 80 odd balls. His taking down of Lasith Malinga in his prime is one of the great sights of white ball batting. To me, that signaled the arrival of Virat Kohli as someone who can control a side and max that run chase. Oh, that was a fabulous game, the 2011-12 game against Sri Lanka. Then I'm looking at T20. 2016, India blank Australia 3-0. And the big story there is actually from the last one day, from the one day just before. India have lost each of the 4 previous one days. Jasprit Bumrah arrives, can't get a connecting flight, is there, and then they tell him, you're playing the last one-day international. Australia make a 320, 330 kind of total. Bumrah 2 for 40. Dhoni doesn't even know what he can bowl. He says, I bowl Yorkers. Dhoni says, are you sure? Oh, that was a great story. And then Bumrah comes back, does very well in the first T20. Raina and Yuvraj finish off the last one. Oh, it was, and that was the might of India's batting on display. And don't forget, 2016 is the start of one of the most brilliant runs in the history of Indian batsmanship for Virat Kohli as well. I'm going to end with 2019, and I'm going to end that for a very personal reason. MS Dhoni has not played the T20s before, and he comes into the one days. There's a lot of talk. How much longer is MS Dhoni going to play? Does he still have it? Admittedly, a little bit of criticism, even if little hushed. You got to be careful with MS Dhoni because you never know. And then he turns it around in 2 games, and it was wonderful to watch. I just wonder whether in time to go, we will now look back at those 2 one-dayers and say, this was the last time we saw MS Dhoni really there at his peak, turning things around and maxing a chase. So there you are. Those are my white ball memories. It's always interesting before a series starts to do it all yourself. Look up old scorecards. Sometimes the anticipation is as much fun as the series itself.